and mess up their patented seed. The seed is patented, and you cannot just throw any other thing that will prosper.
Isn't this the whole lawsuit over the rice?
Yes.
Around
I think-
in that area?
Yes.
I think they're hearing that in the Supreme Court this week or last week, I think.
They just did last week.
Yeah, yeah.
So there are a number of seed companies out there that have joined a lawsuit against Monsanto and companies such as them to stop this, because if you happen to be a farmer that's farming next door to somebody that's growing genetically modified food, you can be sued by Monsanto because the pollen from your corn comes over there and messes up their corn.
Oh, and by the way, corn is wind pollinated and will pollinate within up to 5 miles. Wow. So there's a large spread. I mean, that's in flatland. That's in, I guess, ideal situations, which is not necessarily the Ozarks. You know, I mean, with the hills and dales and trees and all this other stuff. But still, they say that a corn plant will pollinate up to 5 miles from the original.
Okay, well, as a result, we feel like it's important that we start our own seed and that we grow our own gardens and so forth. So we're going to start talking just a little bit about starting your own seed. And people say, well, why would I want to start my own seed? I can go down to Walmart and buy my own little tomatoes and I don't have to do all that work. Well, there's several reasons. First of all, economy. Have you seen any 99-cent six-packs lately? No.
How about 99-cent 4-pack?
In August.
It's much more expensive than it used to be, and you can buy one little seed pack that has 30 or 40 seeds in it and have all kinds of seeds, all kinds of plants for way less money. Also, besides economy, when you grow your own plants, you know what happened to them. You know what kind of soil you used. You know if you sprayed anything on them. You know what kind of seed you put in that little pot, so you know exactly what it is. And you can choose your own varieties more easily if you do your own starts. So Jack is going to talk to you about what to start and how to start it and so forth for those of you who may be new to that subject.
This is a disclaimer. She says I think outside the box. It all depends on what shape the box is. What should I start the plant transplant? If you like peppers, I'd start peppers. If you like tomatoes, I'd do tomatoes. And there's so much of a variety of peppers, tomatoes. You know, if you like a cherry tomato, you don't want to start a large tomato. If you like a large tomato, don't mess with the small tomato. So you have flexibility, and not only do you have flexibility, you have a choice of when you want to start it. You can start tomatoes in the spring, or you can start them in midsummer. And if you start them in midsummer, you will not be able to buy a plant to transplant at that time. So if you're starting your own, you have that option. You can control your own season or your own starting time. And so that's something to take into consideration. So since I'm a tomato man. I love tomatoes. There's nothing in the world like homegrown tomatoes. I don't care what the song says, it's true. There's nothing like a homegrown tomato. But I also like peppers. And this year, and I know I'm off course, I'm thinking outside the box. This year we're going to try to do a salsa verde. That's salsa that's all green. And we've got a green German tomato that doesn't turn red. And the only way you tell it's red, tell it's ripe is to squeeze it a little bit. So I was trying to be careful with that. Because you know, with a salsa verde, you can't use a red tomato. What things you should start in the ground? Corn, beans. There's so many things that transplant very well, and some things that don't transplant hardly at all. Corn does not transplant well. Tomatoes, peppers, your eggplant, your stuff in your nightshade, tobacco. would transplant very well. But, so you don't want to start things that are tropical, which are your nightshades, in the ground, because the soil will never be really warm enough unless you plant them, way late in June. But your corns, your beans, lettuces, cabbages, those all have a good season to start. Containers. Oh, containers.
They're back there.
Oh, here's a container. This is your versatile 72 pack, complete with plastic dome. It's the greenhouse. And you say, you know, I can't find any of them. And you say, well, I'll just give up. You know, you can't find a 72 pack? Just give up. You don't need anything. Oh, what about that? Instant greenhouse. If it comes with a lid, punch holes in the bottom of it. You're not throwing lily pads. Okay? If you punch holes in the bottom of it, you have a chance for the water to percolate out. And with a lid on it, you've got the perfect greenhouse. Just keep it down. Let's see.
Others behind you.
Oh, others behind. Oh, yes, the others behind them. Another fine example.
Holes in them already.
Yeah, okay, probably had cherry tomatoes in it or something. Nice. And a lot of them have already got bit holes in them, but this one doesn't.
We've started lots of little tomatoes.
Oh, you can start more plants in this little container than you will ever plant in the greenhouse. That's a fact.